Hello guys, it's Robert here, the Unforgettable Fly Guy with another live session. And I want to talk to you guys about the difference between psychoanalysis and also logotherapy. So I had this incredible time, guys. Went and spent some time climbing a mountain with some really great friends. And we climbed back down the mountain, and then we had this awesome time in the hot tubbing it up, and then I did a cold dip with a friend of mine, and so we went back into the hot tub, and then we had this incredible dinner. So I'm painting the picture of what was going down. However, what was really awesome was the conversation during the dinner. So it was we covered a lot of different topics and what have you, but one of the things that really caught my attention was, okay, so on this side over here, I'm having the guys' conversation, and on this side over here, I'm listening to the women's conversation. And one of the women, who are nurses by profession, were talking about what a lot of the charts that they see at the hospital, and all the charts that they see at the hospital, the majority of them always has the patient suffering from some kind of anxiety issue, or some kind of fear, or what have you. All the charts. And I thought to myself, wow, isn't that really interesting? You would figure it's something else, or this, or that, or whatever. But all the charts are reading, majority of them are all reading that they're suffering from anxiety. And so that started the conversation. That caught the ears of these other guys here. We all moved to this conversation, talking about what is going on with anxiety. Why are people feeling anxiety? What is happening? I truly believe maybe it's because they're not connected with their essence. They're allowing their fears and all the crap that's going on in the world to affect them and everything else. And then, of course, when you're not attached to your essence, you don't know your passion, you don't know your purpose. I mean, there's a big, deep, there's a deep underlying current that is not being taken care of. And so it really reminded me of this book that I'm reading here, Ikigai, which I am camped on chapter 3. And I've been rereading this chapter for a couple days now, really letting it soak in. And the chapter is from Logotherapy to Ikigai. And it goes to say how to live longer, better by finding your purpose. And I believe you have to find your passion as well. But it goes on to talk about logotherapy. What is logotherapy? But the thing that really caught my attention was the top differences between psychoanalysis and logotherapy. Psychoanalysis is like looking at like the psychology and looking at, the past, everything else. I'm going to go through this real quick. Logotherapy is all about looking at the difference of where you should be to where you are, and looking at the difference and finding out what your passion and purpose is. What is your Ikigai? Focusing on the stuff that you love to do. It has nothing to do with psychology and all this other stuff. But I wanted to read this to you because it's very interesting. And then it reminded me of a guy that I've been listening to, been following. His name is Dave Goggins, and he talks about You Can't Hurt Me. Basically, he's dealing with the fears and dealing with stuff inside. Now, I'm particularly interested in this because of some past trauma I'm dealing with and working through. And I've gone to psychologists, and they prescribe drugs for me and all this other crap, which I found it worked for a bit, but then after a while, like if you're not following what you are supposed to do in life, you're still gonna follow and have anxiety. Just the other day I was listening to Anthony Robbins, and he was talking about how people take these prescription drugs and they're still depressed. And that was my case. I was like totally depressed. But it was very intriguing interesting how the majority of people that go to these hospitals drop-in centers and hospitals to get, like, I don't know, whatever, to get checked out mentally and all that stuff. Mental illness is huge, and it all has to do around anxiety. So the question is it psychoanalysis that is the answer, or is it logotherapy? I truly believe now, after going through all my stuff and focusing on the future, not looking at the past, and the people that I've surrounded myself with that all speak the same language about looking at the future, looking at what you want to do and what you want to accomplish in life, not what you try, and not to run back to what you're trying to run away from. The past is the past. You can't change it. You can only deal with the now. But you can also design and recreate a better future. So, that being said, let's take a look at the these top 10 differences. So in psychoanalysis, the patient reclines on a couch like a patient. In logotherapy, the patient sits face to face with the therapist, who guides him or her without passing judgment. I can honestly say I've seen both of these, and I've talked to an awesome therapist, a counselor of mine who practices logotherapy. Incredible, incredible, incredible. If you're going through anxiety or past trauma or what have you, I would highly recommend you look at a logotherapist. I have an incredible counselor who actually practices logotherapy, and she also uses art and creativity to create the future. So, that being said, the second difference is, in retrospect, it looks to the past. Psychoanalysis looks to the past to figure out your now. Whereas the logotherapist looks at the future. You can't change the past. You can only deal with the now. And as Gary Vaynerchuk talks about, it's all about perspective. All about perspective. I mean, there's a lot of crap that's happened in the past with a lot of people. But it's all perspective. The greatest thing you could be is happy and joyful that you're alive. I never had that. I was like totally depressed all the time because I was looking backwards, trying to change the past that I can't change. And it was not that long ago where I started to focus on the now and looking for the future. Looking to the future because I started to understand that I can rewire my mind, be connected with my essence to figure out where I need or how I want to have my future look like, and I could design it. And then I had to peel back the layers of religion that taught me that I am bad, everything inside me is bad, and you need a savior to come and help you to ignite your spirituality. When I started to realize that we are spirits having a human experience, and spirituality is already in us. And how do you know? Because we have breath from the Creator in us. We already know the difference between right and wrong. Because the truth lies within us. The answers lie within us. And once you get to that point, then you start to realize you can design the future. Anyways, that being said, number 3, the introspect. It analyzes neurosis. What the heck is neurosis? Neurosis, a relatively mild mental illness that is caused by an organic disease involving symptoms of stress, depression, anxiety, obsessive behavior, hypochondria, but not a radical loss of touch with reality compared with psychosis. So, that being said, going back to here, the logotherapist does not even get the patient to go there. Okay? Very, very interesting stuff. Okay, so the third difference, fourth difference is the drive is towards pleasure. The drive is towards pleasure. Over into the logotherapist, the drive is towards purpose and meaning. So the therapist always, psychoanalysis or the psychologist always says, go do stuff that you love to do. Find something that makes you happy. Whereas the logotherapist asks you to go and find something that gives you meaning. What is the things that you want to do that gives you purpose, meaning? Do the things you love to do. The psychotherapist will tell you, go out and do something fun, and it's almost as it's an escape from how your life sucks. And so there's a lot of guys, for example, myself, I love to fly fish. I used to go and use fly fishing as a way of escaping my crummy life. And I never really truly loved how to fly fish. I love fly fishing, I know how to fly fish, but never really allowed it to soak into my essence, soak into every part of my being. Until I started to understand logotherapy. Where now, I don't run to fly fishing to escape my issues. I'm dealing with my issues, and I go and do fly fishing as a way to be creative. And it's part of my purpose and part of my direction now, where I'm helping actually men to fall into their passion and purpose, leveraging nature and leveraging fly fishing. But now it's a way of deriving meaning and purpose from it. So the psychoanalysis, the fifth difference, is centered on psychology, and in logotherapy, it includes the spiritual dimension. Everything needs to be spiritual. Everything that you do in life should revolve around some kind of spiritual depth. For example, fly fishing. I used to run to it as an escape. Now I run to it because I love to get around nature and the universe and allow myself to be taught by the impressions and the revelation knowledge I get when I'm casting out into the waters out there to hook up to my trout that I'm looking for, or just to connect with nature. Okay? Now we're getting to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth difference is in psychoanalysis, it works on psychogenic neurosis. Whereas in logotherapy, also works on noogenics or existential neurosis. Okay. In psychoanalysis, the sixth difference is analysis of the unconscious, whereas the logotherapist, it deals with the conflict when and where they arise in the spiritual dimension. If something's not sitting well with you, you need to get into the spiritual world, the spiritual realm, to understand why. And it usually comes down to the fact that you're not doing the stuff that you don't love doing. You're doing stuff that you hate, but you're not doing the stuff that you love to do, and it's because of some kind of spiritual unalignment, or you're disconnected from your essence. And then the seventh difference is limits in the psychoanalysis, limits itself to the patient's instinct. And then in logotherapy, it also deals with the spiritual realities. And then we go into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 difference. In psychoanalysis, it's fundamentally incapable with faith, or incompatible with faith, is fundamentally incompatible with faith. Whereas logotherapy, you need to be compatible with faith. You need to have faith because it involves the spiritual level as well, and you need to walk in that direction and have faith in the process, trust in the process of life. Okay, and then the last difference between in the psychoanalysis, the doctors in that world seeks to reconcile conflict and satisfy impulses and instincts. Whereas in logotherapy, the therapist and yourself seeks to help the patient find meaning in his life and satisfy his moral principles. Very, very, very interesting stuff. And I believe that is a huge step towards helping someone through anxiety. Ever since I started understanding the difference and then really focusing on logotherapy and looking at what I want my life to look like compared to where it is now, and then look at having faith in the process, and then looking at doing stuff that I love to do, which is in alignment with my goals and my principles, my anxiety level has gone way, way down. Because now I'm not just going out there randomly being moved by fear and being in a reaction kind of state of being, and always looking at making money like they do in the corporate world. I now look at what gives me meaning and purpose, and then letting the money follow after that. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, because having this discussion with these ladies here about anxiety, it just really made me feel inspired to actually cut this video and tell people that there is a total difference between psychoanalysis, where you're prescribed drugs, and in that world it's all about going into the fear but not really dealing with it on a spiritual level. It's just a head thing. And then some people can't even deal with their past pain, so they get medication. Whereas on the other side, in logotherapy, it's all about getting in touch with your essence and start to live out from there. So one side is going from the outside in, and the other one is going from the inside and then coming out. And ever since I started doing that, guys, like I said, my anxiety level has gone way down. And I believe that all these people that are going to the hospital with anxiety issues, that they do the same thing, I believe that they're going to get way closer to their trophy life. Way closer. And guys, ever since I started doing that, all these things that I want to accomplish, all have been coming my way. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if you guys are dealing with anxiety, I just want to leave you with just two simple things. One, study psychoanalysis. Actually, first of all, get this book. Get this book. And then turn to page, here's the second thing. Turn to page 39 in the book. And then just study these two columns right here. And know the difference between psychoanalysis and logotherapy. And I'll tell you one thing, guys. You will get way closer to your trophy life, and you'll start to understand that you're okay. You're okay. There's no design flaw in you. The design flaw is all in our mind. And then also, the last thing is, look up a guy named David Goggins, and he has a book that I'm going to be getting after this one here called You Can't Hurt Me, and read that book, because that is a guy that was gripped with anxiety, just like I was, had dealt with abuse, just like how I was, and he's actually one of my thought leaders and mentors that are really helping me to get way further in life and where I want to be in life now. And so when you start to listen to these people and start, replacing your mind with all the negative crap that you've been told, and replacing it with good things and getting good material in your mind, then, like I said before, guys, you're going to be way ahead of the game and way closer to your trophy life. Until then, guys, be unforgettable and you'll be unstoppable, and we'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, guys, hit the like button, share this with somebody that's going through anxiety, and let's help them figure out how they can get to their trophy life a lot faster. And let's show them there's a difference between psychoanalysis and also logotherapy. One goes and leads you to more stress, and the other one leads to the answers that all lie within you. Take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.